Most men don't become cold overnight. Life trains them slowly. A man starts out hopeful, trusting, emotional, willing to sacrifice for people he loves. But after enough betrayal, enough pressure, enough disappointment, something inside him changes. And the dangerous part is this: nobody notices when a man is breaking. People only notice when he stops providing. That's the reality many men live with every single day. A man can wake up with stress eating him alive and still go to work, still smile, still pay bills, still solve problems for everybody else. Because deep down he knows one thing: if he stops moving, everything around him could collapse. That pressure alone destroys many men mentally, especially financially. A lot of men today are silently carrying financial pressure nobody understands: rent, food, family responsibilities, debt, unexpected emergencies, and the world keeps telling him, work harder. Imagine a man making $2,000 a month while carrying responsibilities worth $5,000 monthly. Every day feels like survival, and nobody cares about his excuses. People only care whether he succeeds or fails. That pressure changes a man psychologically. It makes him restless, irritated, emotionally distant, not because he hates people, but because his mind never truly rests. A broke man doesn't sleep peacefully. Even when he's smiling publicly, his mind keeps calculating. How do I survive next month? How do I pay this bill? What happens if I fail? Some men are one financial disaster away from complete emotional breakdown. But society rarely gives men sympathy for financial struggle. People simply tell him, figure it out. That's why many men become obsessed with money. Not because money is everything, but because lack of money creates humiliation. A man without money gets treated differently. Suddenly his opinions don't matter. His confidence drops. His relationships become unstable. People disrespect him easier. Even dating changes. A man with $50 in his account and a man with $50,000 in his account experience completely different treatment from society. That truth motivates many men harder than passion ever could, because many men are not chasing luxury. They are chasing peace, the peace of knowing bills are handled, the peace of knowing family is safe, the peace of knowing emergencies won't destroy their lives overnight. That's what money represents for many men: security. And unfortunately, some men destroy themselves trying to achieve it, working 14-hour days, sleeping 4 hours, ignoring their health, ignoring their mental state, all because they fear being financially weak. Because a financially weak man often feels invisible. That's why some men become emotionally unavailable. Their mind is consumed by survival. You may think he's ignoring texts because he doesn't care. Meanwhile, he's trying to figure out how to survive another month financially. And social media makes this pressure worse. Everywhere he looks, another man appears richer. One man buys a $120,000 car. Another shows off a $3 million mansion. Another flashes $40,000 cash online. Now, average men start feeling inadequate, even when they're trying their best. Social media created fake timelines for success. Now, a 25-year-old man feels like a failure because he doesn't own property yet. A 30-year-old man feels behind because another man became a millionaire online. But what people don't see is this: some of those lifestyles are financed by debt. Some are fake. Some are rented. Some are temporary. But comparison still destroys confidence, especially in men, because men naturally compare status. That's why many men today are mentally exhausted. They feel like they're constantly competing financially, competing socially, competing romantically, always proving, always performing. And eventually, a man gets tired, tired of carrying expectations, tired of pretending to be okay, tired of being valued only when useful. Many men secretly wonder, if I lost everything tomorrow, who would still stay? That question haunts more men than people realize, because many men learn that love can become conditional. As long as he's winning, people celebrate him. But once he struggles financially, many disappear. That experience hardens men deeply. A man who once spent $10,000 helping everybody around him may later become emotionally closed after realizing nobody helped him during his own difficult season. Pain changes generosity. That's why many successful men become quieter over time. Not because they hate people, but because experience made them cautious. And here's another truth: a man's self-respect is heavily connected to his discipline. A lazy man eventually hates himself Because deep down he knows he's wasting potential. Men need purpose. Without purpose, a man becomes dangerous to himself. He starts chasing distractions, addictions, temporary pleasure, validation. Some men spend $500 every weekend partying while their real life quietly collapses. Not because they're happy, but because distraction feels easier than facing reality. That's why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation disappears quickly. Discipline stays. A disciplined man keeps going even when life feels unfair. He saves money when others waste it. He works when others sleep. He learns when others complain. And over time, those small habits change his entire future. One man wastes 5 years chasing pleasure. Another spends 5 years building skills. By the end of those 5 years, their lives look completely different. That's how powerful discipline is. And men must understand something important. Nobody is coming to save you. That realization is painful, but powerful. The moment a man accepts responsibility for his life completely, he becomes dangerous in a good way. Because excuses stop controlling him. He stops blaming everybody, stops waiting for perfect timing, stops depending on luck. He starts building, quietly. And many powerful men started with almost nothing. Some started with only $100. Some started sleeping in cars. Some failed multiple businesses before succeeding. But persistence changed everything. Most people quit too early. A lot of men want success, but don't want the loneliness that comes with building it. Because success requires sacrifice. Sometimes you lose comfort. Sometimes relationships change. Sometimes people misunderstand your focus. But growth always costs something, and weak men avoid necessary pain. Strong men accept it temporarily to build better futures. That's why many men eventually become emotionally calm, not because life became easy, but because struggle taught them emotional control. A man who survived financial pressure, heartbreak, rejection, and failure develops a different mindset. Small problems stop shaking him because he already survived worse. That's why some quiet men are the strongest men in the room. They fought battles nobody knows about. And maybe you're one of those men right now. Maybe life feels heavy. Maybe money pressure is stressing you. Maybe you feel unappreciated. Maybe you're tired of carrying responsibilities alone. But don't let temporary struggle convince you that your future is finished. Many successful men once felt lost too. The difference is they kept going, even when nobody believed in them, even when progress was slow, even when failure embarrassed them. They kept building anyway. That's real masculinity, not noise, not arrogance, not pretending to dominate everybody. Real masculinity is responsibility, discipline, self-control, consistency under pressure. That's what separates men. And if you're listening to this right now, stop comparing your life to social media. Stop chasing validation from everybody. Focus on building yourself financially, mentally, emotionally. Save money, learn skills, protect your peace, control your emotions, choose your circle carefully. And remember this, a man who masters himself becomes difficult to destroy. If this video connected with you, support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, sharing it with someone who needs motivation, and dropping your thoughts in the comments below.